Hello, this is Quinn from the OR GameCast, and we're on episode 3, and I'm joined by Nick.
Yo.
And today, we have a killer podcast in store for you.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man or woman.
Yeah.
Alright, Nick, let's start off. What's going on in your life?
What's going on in my life?
Yeah, what's up with you?
I'm trying to get this podcast to go on iTunes, and I feel like I'm the only one not able to do this.
Why are you looking up tutorials and stuff, and everyone has a good time and it's easy?
Yeah, I got a feed going, and then I try to submit it to iTunes, and iTunes always has a problem with it. The first problem was, I don't even remember. Oh, the first problem was I was using a Google upload link, and it wasn't recognizing it, so I had to find a new place to upload the MP3 files. So I did. And now it's complaining about the thumbnail image, and I'm doing the right thing, but it's still not liking it. And today I tried it, and now iTunes won't even open without freezing on me. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm just having so much trouble with it.
Well, I'm sorry.
I don't know what to do. If anyone has any tips, it says thumbnail should be higher than 600 by 600, and it is. So I don't know what it wants from me.
Well, maybe I'll help you out, and we'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah,
or something.
We'll figure this out. So I'll make an announcement whenever it does get on iTunes, so you guys can just use the podcast app, and you don't have to worry about downloading individual. I'll still do the individual episodes, but
yeah, just more convenient on iTunes, where you get it automatically updated onto your iDevice of choosing.
Right.
What's this girls' school?
Yeah, I've been listening to them. They're a heavy rock band from late 70s, early 90s. I knew about them, but I kind of just started listening to them, and they're amazing. I'm just blown away. What you think of all girl rock bands? Who do you think of? The Runaways?
Yeah, sure. But what I'm more interested in is how this music video for "Come On, Let's Go" is the hottest thing you've ever seen. I want to know more about that.
It is. It's just 4 girls rocking out. There's nothing sexual about it either. They're just playing their instruments. They're just having fun. They're rocking. And it's so awesome. And it's just you don't see that today. You see either you got Miley Cyrus dry humping a wall, or you got
and then tearing
Lord
it down with a wrecking ball, right?
Standing there looking like she's about to cry. I'm sure there are bands out there that are rocking out. They're just not well known. And same with Girls' School. They're not well known. And they should be well known, and it sucks that it isn't. You have to go out of your way to search for them. So.
Well, I'll look into this music video, and I'll give the okay if it is the hottest thing ever.
You're not gonna you never play. You don't like instruments.
I do. I like the instruments.
Okay, I can't even imagine you listen to heavy rock.
We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
Definitely check it out if you're into Motorhead.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a band you need to check out right away.
Interesting.
And speaking of rock music, I uploaded my personal reflection of Rock Band and Guitar Hero on OrganizedRemains YouTube channel, so check that out. I've been meaning to, everyone's what's your favorite video game of all time? And I always say Rock Band. And everyone, mostly, even Quinn said this, Rock Band, that's not a real video game. And it's also it's not real, blah, 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 it's odd, that's an odd choice. They always say that, but in this video I explain why it's my favorite and whatnot.
I would like to talk about this too.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because I found in your reflection there were a lot of similarities in your experience with the game that relate to my experience with a game I really enjoy, right? And I think this is I think the experience you had with the game Not necessarily the game itself is what made it your favorite. like you were able to play it with your family. You played it all through college with your friends.
Yeah.
And I think those experiences are what made it your favorite. Because let's say, like I know it wouldn't be, but let's just say like your whole family played Call of Duty with you, and then you went through college and everyone played Call of Duty with you, and you had the same experience with a different game. I think
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I think
I played it a lot by myself too, but I see what you're saying. But that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying anything's bad, Nick.
Okay.
I'm just saying I noticed that you had a really good experience that related to my experience with Halo in particular. Yeah. Like, I noticed like the types of words you were using and the experiences you were talking about related to me with Halo, and like me playing Halo with a bunch of my friends, and that was like the best experience ever or whatever. And then you talked about how you played it with a bunch of college friends and really got into it there. And there were a lot of similarities, and I think that's kind of interesting because the games are completely different, but it's the like same experience of like having a good time that made it like
pretty much. I've given you crap about Halo 3, but I share some of the experiences with Halo 2 and Halo 1. Halo 2, I remember when it came out, my uncle had Xbox Live, and I would go over there and play. It was like kind of like my first console online experience, and I had a lot like just fun playing with my uncle, playing online and whatnot. But I give you crap about Halo 3, but it's just good fun.
The reason why I liked Halo 3 so much was the features, not necessarily the game, because I mean, okay, the campaign was awesome, just like all the Halo campaigns are really fun to play, especially with friends. But I pretty much spent the majority of my time in sandbox mode, or forge mode, there we go, forge. Mm-hmm. And all I would do was like build maps, and no one would play on them because I didn't have enough friends. But like, that's what I did, and I got so obsessed with it because I was like, this is the first time I can get my hands on making a map of my own inside of a game. And it's kind of sad that they don't do that anymore. Like, Halo 3 and I guess you could say Reach a little bit were the only games that had the ability, only console games that you had the ability to make your own stuff.
Yeah.
And I just really enjoyed that because that's why I love Little Big Planet so much, is because you can make whatever you want. And even though you're not talented and you're not going to make anything anyone likes, it's still fun to try, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like Halo, like if you go up to someone and is like, hey, my favorite game of all time is Halo, people are like, okay.
Yeah,
but I feel like if I say my favorite video game is Rock Band, they're like, what?
Yeah, and I think that's because, like, typically when you think of a video game, you don't think of, like, a beat matching game type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think of... But... Like, you don't think of Guitar Hero, you don't think of Dance Dance Revolution, you don't think of Let's DDR. Dance or Dance Central, or... Like, you don't...
DDR.
Yeah.
My
or, like,
favorite.
DJ Hero, or, like, no one...
That's what I like about it. It's different. There's not that, like, it was new.
Yeah.
There was, like, nothing like it at the time.
Yeah. Well, there was something like it. It stole.
Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah, but they never did it to that point where it was that polished. And, like, I don't know if we had the technology, not to say we didn't have the technology, but, like, being able to store all these songs on your hard drive, having all these instruments hooked up to a system at one time, probably would have been tough on a PS. Now, it's been done on the PS2, but like PlayStation 1 probably would have been tough.
Yeah, it was definitely... It only happened because there were certain technologies in place. Right. And even like today, like Guitar Hero 2, even though this has nothing to do with the technology or whatever, like, there's a glitch where you can add your own custom songs and custom notes and stuff.
Right.
And, that's just, like, insane in itself. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
But, yeah, I think the reason why a lot of people are a little, like, oh, rock band is here. Yeah. Oh. It's because I think a lot of people don't consider those super hardcore games.
Yeah, and for someone that's been playing video games all his life,
Yeah.
I have one friend, I told him that, and he just started laughing uncontrollably. He's like, that's not a real game, you gotta choose again.
Yeah. Well, funny thing, I wanted to see if you have any interest in like getting Rocksmith and trying like because that's sort of the modern version of those games.
True.
And at the
I have
end of,
Rocksmith.
oh, you do have it.
I love it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, okay. I just haven't heard you say anything about it, so I didn't know if you had it or anything.
I got the first one and I played a little bit of it, but I didn't really get into it. The second one came out and I was looking at the list of songs on it, and I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool to try those songs. And I found a good deal on it, and it's Rocksmith 2014.
Yeah,
and plugged in my guitar, and I was hooked on it for a little bit. Not as much as Rock Band, but
yeah,
I had a lot of fun playing it. I still play it occasionally too.
I think it's like you probably can because there is a Rocksmith for PC. You could probably like import songs and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I had it on PS3, and the good thing about it is you can import all the songs from the first game to the second game. Cool. So I just have all the songs now.
Yeah.
And I love playing them songs, man.
Yeah. Well,
Rocksmith is definitely something to pick up if you like to play guitar or bass.
I only have a acoustic guitar, so I wouldn't be able to like hook that up.
That's a shame.
But I think we've been talking a good amount about your week. Just wanted to say this is an update from last week, right?
Quinn's moving to Florida.
No, this has to do with the test that I just didn't finish. Remember
Quinn's
that?
Quinn's not moving to Florida.
So I didn't finish this history test, and I left out pretty much half my essay. The important part of my essay was gone.
Yeah.
I got the test back today, and I got a 50 out of 60, which is an 83.33.
Nice.
So I was like happy about that, right?
Yeah.
And so I checked.
How can this all go wrong?
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome, right? Oh man, I didn't even like complete the thing, and I still got a B. I'm super excited."
But then you read a note at the bottom, which is like, "See me after class. We have things to discuss about your future."
Kind of. I was like, "Okay, there's got to be something going on here." So I opened it up, and so I basically aced everything. I got 100% on everything except the essay. Now the essay was worth I think it was worth 25 points.
Yeah.
And I got 15. So that was it was just, I got basically an F on the essay, yet in total I got a B. And I should probably talk to the teacher too, because let's just say I've been skimping on the homework, Ixnay, on the homework A.
Why?
Because it's long and hard and painless.
Okay. Yeah, that reminds me of the EMT class I took that I dropped out of.
Yeah.
Because it was just too much for me. Because I wanted to be an EMT, and it's just, I was working third shift at the time, and the homework just kept growing and growing.
Yeah.
And it was just...
You just wanted to be an EMT so you can make out with dead people. Or dying people, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's the reason.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? You see you see a lady laying in the park, and you're like, oh, I gotta resuscitate her with my lips. And then she was just slaps you.
I am CPR certified.
Oh, nice. Next time I come over and choke on something, you can...
I'll give you the Heimlich.
Yeah.
Heimlich.
That'll be fun.
So what's wrong with your essay?
Nothing's wrong. I was just updating that I got a B on it, which was nice to see.
Oh, you had a build up.
Yeah, well, you kind of built it up too. There wasn't really much to be said. I was just updating that I did well on something I didn't do well on.
I said that the note your teacher sent was "see me after class," and you're like, "Yeah, kind of."
Well, I have to go talk to
happened.
them. I have to go talk to them about extra credits so I can make up homework stuff.
Okay.
But
you're still moving though.
Yeah, still moving. Which
I appreciate you taking the time to make this podcast.
Yeah, man. You don't even know. Right after this, I have to go call a bunch of colleges and ask about things. It's It's getting intense, man. Life keeps a moving.
You like colleges in your area, or are you trying to move again to a new state? Or country?
They're all in California for now.
Oh,
but,
Cali.
Yeah, but that's because I don't want to pay out of state. That's too much money.
Right.
But anyways, let's get on to some gaming news. I mean, this is the OR GameCast.
Yeah, GameCast. We're talking too much about Quinn's life.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know where to go
sorry
now.
about that interruption.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. No, keep it in. We're live.
So what is I don't know where all this stuff is or what it is, so you have to explain.
Saints Row Get Out of Hell is coming out earlier than expected, which is awesome. But it's only a week earlier, but that's better than nothing. And a new trailer for it came out, and it still looks awesome. I'm a fanboy of the Saint Row series.
So it isn't.
It's just so good.
It's not called Saints Row 5 Get Out of Hell. It's just Saints Row Get Out of Hell.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Because what I remember, and I told you this, but you didn't believe me, and you got mad at me for it, was that I said...
Sounds like me.
I said Get Out of Hell was going to be a DLC for Saints Row 4, but it got too big, so they had to make it its own thing.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like it could happen. But that was Saints Row 4 as well. That it was supposed to be originally a DLC,
which is funny.
But it turned out great, so why wouldn't this turn out great?
Oh no, I'm not saying anything negative, Nick. I'm
just you know how I get defensive about my Saints Row.
Yeah, you get defensive about facts, man.
I get defensive.
I mean, I was just thinking, like, are they also working on Saints Row 5? Like, that's what I'm thinking.
Who knows?
Like, are they working on Saints Row 5 and then this DLC also just became its own game? Will it be coming out for $40 versus $60? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? No, it's probably, if it's in hell, like it takes place in hell,
yeah.
Does that mean it's a new map?
I think it is. I think it's actually, I forgot. I read an article. It's either like a portion of the size of Saints Row 4's town, like city, or it's 3 times as big. Now I forgot which one it is, but it's one of those.
Well, I'm excited for it. I'm glad it's coming out a week earlier than expected. January 20th in the U.S.
In a world with many delayed games, it's nice to see one coming out a little early.
Yep.
It's kind of funny. So during my search for new games to pre-order and stuff, I stumbled upon Evolve, right?
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be coming out this month or next month.
Yep.
And it's been pushed to February.
Oh, I think I heard about that. That's a bummer.
Cool thing, though, is that if you pre-order the game, you get access to their 3-day alpha, which takes place Halloween, November 1st and November 2nd. So I'm thinking you and me pre-order it, get the code, play the alpha for 3 days straight and stream, and then cancel our pre-order. I think that would be a good idea.
That might work if you're going to be streaming. If you're not too busy moving.
Oh, no, I think we're moving before Halloween, so it'll be fine.
I'll probably pre-order it anyways if I find a deal. It looks pretty good.
Let's do PS4, and then that way we can stream from PS4 and all this. Yeah.
Okay. I guess.
I don't know.
More on that later. I know.
Yeah, more on that later.
Transition to, but first, the PlayStation TV. It came out, and I don't think people are liking it. It's this little hub thing. It's kind of like a lot of reviews are explaining it as a broken down Vita that just plugs into your PS3, your TV, not your PlayStation 3. That was my mistake. It just plugs right into your TV. You don't need any system or anything. Okay. It's $100 or $99, and you can rent games and play games on it with a PS3 or a PS4 controller. And it sounds great, but a lot of people are having problems with it. That's what's upsetting people.
Like it's lagging out, or what's the problem?
Just hard to set it up, I believe. Like I was on Twitter yesterday, and I follow Ego Raptor, and he was talking about it, and he was just describing how much of a pain it was to get it set up, and that no like games are working. And he's like, finally, I got one PSP game to work, Ninja Gaiden.
Wow.
He's like, great.
And I hate this game.
Yeah, I don't know if he hates it, but
yeah.
And then I read some other reviews, and just I haven't really seen any like reviews saying you have to get it.
Well, I think the thing is, you shouldn't have to get it at all, unless you don't really have a console. Like, it sounds to me kind of like the OnLive console that never came out because OnLive failed because it didn't have an audience.
Right.
But it was just like a $99 thing you plug into your TV, and you are able to play games and with just a controller. Like, that was it. And everything was streamed to your TV instead of having the console do all the work. So, I don't think it's for people who have consoles. I think it's for people who don't have consoles and want a cheap replacement type of thing. And I think Sony just wants to get into that market of people who don't want to buy a new console or something, but still want to be able to play games.
Yeah, exactly.
But that market doesn't really exist, so like that's why OnLive failed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I suppose people are buying it, but well, the reviewers are buying. Well, maybe they got free copies. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna buy it.
I'm not gonna
buy
one. Yeah,
I heard that I think this is what was going on. That people were getting it, or that either the PlayStation TV or this attachment to the Vita would allow you to basically split screen off your PS4 to a different, like to two TVs, so that you could have a TV and the person you're split screening with could also have their own TV. I don't know if that was PlayStation TV or attachment to the Vita, but I remember that was like the only reason I was looking into it was like, is there a way to split screen on two separate screens? And I think that was the way around it, but even so, $99 isn't worth that.
Yeah. PlayStation has like a history of like trying to do like non-system stuff and like just like that 3D TV with the PlayStation 3 bundle didn't really pan out for them.
I actually knew someone who got that.
Did they like it?
Yeah, they actually liked it a lot, but
well, that's good, but no one bought. Like, I'm talking about failing as in no one bought. The PlayStation Move no one bought.
They make stuff for no audience. Like, there's no audience that needs or wants it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no one's gonna buy the PlayStation TV if they have Sony products already. And if they don't have Sony products, then they're probably not into video games, so why would they get it then?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it doesn't really have a use. I mean, maybe their Japanese audience likes the thing a lot more than us, and it's like actually useful for some other people. But even so, it's just like a lot of their products don't really make sense. The only thing I am excited for is their virtual reality headset that's not out yet.
Oh, right.
I think it's called Project Morpheus or something.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
If they actually get that like solid and incorporate that into their games like as a thing, and it's not gimmicky like Wii motion controls or something, if they like integrate it with a Killzone or Uncharted or one of their big exclusive titles, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what to really say.
Mirror's Edge 2 with Morpheus.
I didn't think the Wii controls were gimmicky though.
Well, not like that, but like I meant a PlayStation Move and like like just motion PlayStation Move can.
There are games that are gimmicky that use them, but like Wii Sports was really fun, I thought.
Well, I mean, Wii is different because Wii is like all about motion controls, but I meant like the other consoles. Oh, now we have gimmicky motion controls. Everyone buy our stuff type of thing.
PlayStation really, I don't know, the PlayStation Move was like, I saw it for like $20 and it came with a game, and I was still like, no, I don't want it.
Like, I was actually, it looked kind of cool to me, but I just never wanted to do it. Like, I liked the idea that you could, I don't know, there's always that picture of the guy pulling the arrow back in the bow with the control, and I was like, I want to be that guy.
I want to be Robin Hood.
Yeah, like, I want to shoot arrows. But then I was like, I could just buy a bow and arrow for $20.
That's true. Or
And
a
then-
little crossbow.
Yeah, something.
Alright, let's move on.
All right, what's the last thing here?
Okay, the last thing I have is Firefly Online. I didn't even know this game existed until today.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever seen the show?
Yeah.
I have never seen the show, but a lot of people are like angry at me that I've never seen it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm kind of in the same boat. Okay, I've seen the movie, which is Serenity, right?
Right. Yeah, I knew
I've
that.
I've seen Serenity, and I've seen like 5 minutes of a episode.
Nice.
Like I haven't. Like people are obsessive
Yeah, exactly.
and really think Firefly was this amazing thing that stopped too early
Yeah.
and didn't get the love it wanted or needed. I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I think it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be good if I go ever watch it. But
Right. Same here. But it's just like it's like an hour and a half for the first episode, and it's just like, do I want to watch an hour and a half of television right now?
yeah, I think it's a really niche audience
Yeah.
who really are passionate about the series. So
Oh yeah, definitely. But the video game that's coming out for it, I'm not sure what it really is, but there's some footage of it now.
is it like an MMO or something?
Kind of, but to be honest, it doesn't look that good. It looks pretty bad,
Yeah.
I think. And it's just that could have just been the graphics. The graphics making it look bad because the graphics aren't good at all.
Yeah.
And-
Like the first thing I think of is the Star Wars MMO.
Yeah. I never
Like
played it. I don't
it
think
was so
anyone else
hyped
did.
up, right? It got the official Blur animated trailer, which was like
Right.
really high end. And then they came out with like the first gameplay footage and I was like, "Oh, this looks like shit." the visual, like, what is this, PS2? What is this?
Right.
And like not only that, when the game actually came out, like everyone hated it so much.
I remember that.
And
It was like the most expensive game to make too, I believe.
yeah, and it took them years.
Yeah.
Years to make this
that
game.
that was like, if anything's a failure, it was that game.
Yeah, it was that, like, and Duke Nukem Forever.
I don't think they spent as much on Duke Nukem.
It's
though.
either way, that was a terrible game, and I want to say that until the day I die.
I thought it was like.
Oh,
Duke
don't
Nukem,
even.
I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's the worst game I've ever played. Like I played a lot of bad NES.
Oh, there
games.
are worse games, but it's
And-
like a AAA producer or developer, and it's been in the making for 12 years off and on.
Yeah.
And then it was just terrible. Anyways, the point was, so Star Wars came out, then like a whole list of all these other huge franchise name MMOs came out, and
Yeah.
were all terrible. Like Star Wars, then there was Star Trek,
Yeah, I think I remember that.
and then there was a couple other ones, and they were all really bad.
Yeah.
So, I think the only thing that's gonna happen is Firefly. You think the graphics aren't good, so it's probably gonna fall into that category of a really bad, huge franchise MMO.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are they even making a game? They're just like cashing in on the fan base, I think.
Yeah, probably. It's probably like some
Which you say
Kickstarter idea.
that's your catchphrase. You say that every week. When I bring something up, you're like, you're just cashing in on the franchise. I'm like, you're a liar. But this time I'm saying it. I think they're cashing in on the franchise.
Oh, you didn't even ask me about my superpower. Oh, snap.
That's because you opened the podcast.
That's true,
You were
it's
supposed
true.
to ask me.
I'm a smart devil. Alright. Yeah,
I regret
I
not starting the podcast. Let's just delete what we have and start over.
I think it's kind of weird. So this is kind of like the same thing with Mirror's Edge 2. I don't know if you paid attention to the E3 press conference that talked about Mirror's Edge 2 a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
So they didn't announce Mirror's Edge 2. They just showed some stuff they're working on, quote unquote.
Right.
And it was like it looked like Mirror's Edge 1 with updated graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they didn't show anything really new. But the main thing was that Mirror's Edge 2 was never supposed to be a thing, and it's only being worked on because there's such a big fan base for it. Because there are so many people really involved in Mirror's Edge 1, that they're like they have to make Mirror's Edge 2 or it's a financially poor decision not to.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the same thing with Firefly game. It's like
Yeah.
there's so many people wanting like a sliver of game to come out for this universe. Why don't we just make it and then give it to them? They'll be like at least happy something came out.
Yeah.
The rest of the world will be unsatisfied and call it crap, and we get $1 million.
That's a lot of games though. Like even like one of the like Grim Fandango remake, they weren't gonna do that, but then there was all this hype for it, and they're like, I guess we got it now.
Well, yeah, if you're remaking a game though, you can't really go wrong because
Yeah,
you have it all laid out for you.
What are your thoughts on Mirror's Edge?
I really like Mirror's Edge. I really do.
Like, I think it's good. I like if they never made a sequel, I'd be okay with that though. I wouldn't be upset.
Like the thing is I didn't expect a sequel after like 3 years went by and nothing happened. And I was just like, okay, well, it's not going to come out.
Right.
And I can live with that because there are other game developers trying to make something similar but adding to it.
Yeah.
Like I was playing some alpha demo of a game called Lima, which is like an indie game. And it's like the same thing. First person free running through an environment and stuff like that. And I think that's cool. Yeah. I think that even though a Mirror's Edge 2 might not come out, there will be something like it coming out in the future.
Right.
Besides that, I think Mirror's Edge by itself, when it came out, the way it is awesome. Like,
yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, man. I just need what's it called?
A shower?
A shower? No, I need
a cold shower.
An Oculus Rift dev kit.
Oh, okay.
That's what I need because you can play Mirror's Edge in virtual reality, and that's what's really awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I just want to since we're talking about this subject of companies being like, we weren't gonna make this game, but I guess we have to now. Mm-hmm. Nintendo is like that, sort of with Earthbound. Yeah. Earthbound is like one of the biggest cult classic games of all time. I'm including me. I'm in the fan base, and the fact is there is another Earthbound, but they refuse to bring it over to America. They absolutely refuse, and they even joked about it at E3. Reggie was like the robot chicken animation.
Yeah.
At the beginning of E3, and Reggie's like, does anyone have any questions? And someone in the audience was like, where's Mother 3? And he ends up ripping their head off or something. And it's like, wow, they really don't care. And it's just like, someone had to fan translate it, and so we could play it in the States. Yeah. Or anyone that needs it in the English language. So it's just funny that Nintendo has this game. It's made. The only thing you have to do is change the words into a different language.
And they just refuse to do it. Maybe it's like some anti-American campaign in the entire game. And they're like, oh, this would be bad to kind of show the American people.
Yeah, and then Ness is a playable character in Smash Brothers. So it's like, though Ness isn't in Mother 3. Earthbound 2, whatever you
he's in Earthbound 1. So.
Yeah, he's in Earthbound 1. But so it means they haven't forgot about Earthbound, obviously.
Yeah.
They just don't want to bring it over. But it's maybe it's too late now, they think. It's like, well, it's been a while since a game was made.
Yeah, I think they're probably like, if someone wanted it that bad, they would get the game somehow.
Yeah. I don't know, but Sony did it. Sony, you can buy Japanese PS1 games on the PlayStation Network right now. There's a couple of Mega Man games that never made it to America that you can now purchase on PlayStation Store. So it's possible. But anyways,
interesting.
I just thought I'd bring it up. That I don't know why Nintendo's got to be like that. Let's move on to what we've been playing. What have you been playing, Quinn?
Let me see here.
Are you too busy?
I was pretty busy, not gonna lie, but I have played some TF2 because I always play TF2. Correct. I played some Lethal League because there's actually an audition for a brand new character in Lethal League. You can do the voice of him, right?
Right.
And I'm like, I've been sort of playing Lethal League for research, as like I listen to all the characters making sounds and stuff like, huh, huh, huh. Like, oh man, I need to research for this audition.
I gotta lose 20 pounds for this role.
I gotta get into a montage scene, man. I gotta do this. But yeah, I've been playing Lethal League just to get some research for how to do my audition for this character, because I really want to get it, and I'll be famous, right? I'll launch my career from this if I can get it. So I've been playing Lethal League. Let's see what else. I think that's actually it. I don't think I've actually played anything else besides those two.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I have a sad and lonely life. I've been wanting to play Dark Souls 2 again. So there's that.
We played a little Killing Floor.
Oh, we did.
As well. That was the first time I ever played Killing Floor, and it's
my! You have the game installed, or were you installing it? No, you had it installed.
I had it installed because I wanted to check it out.
And you've never played it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have a lot of games installed that I've never played.
And that was like a terrible day to play it too, because Kevin, and then it was just like a bad.
It wasn't a bad. Like, it was just, the game is fine.
Yeah, well, I think we also played like a custom map and not even like a good map, so
we'll play.
I'm gonna have to
play again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to play again. I'll have to show you how to actually play the game. And like you got a medigun, you couldn't even buy it, and you couldn't even like figure out how to use it.
Yeah, I was figuring stuff out. I'll give it another chance.
Yeah, we should play that again. That was fun.
Yeah, this past week has been kind of interesting for me. Like before I go into what I've played, like just know that I'm the type of gamer that like plays a half an hour to an hour, and usually I'm like, okay, I'm good for now. I'll come back to this later.
Yeah.
Like I don't have like an addiction or anything. Like I never have like an addiction usually, unless the game's really good, and I'll go to like 2 hours. Like Saints Row 4, I went to 2 hours a day
and that was
when
your
it
max.
First came out. And that what?
And that was your max. You couldn't go over
That was
2
like
hours.
my max.
Man.
The other day,
What a
I started
world.
getting into streaming by myself, which was difficult because I don't feel like I'm that great at it when I'm by myself, but I need to try it to get better at it. So
yeah,
you just got to throw yourself into it. And but originally, actually, we were going to play Spelunky, me, Quinn, and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
The three of us. Scott's a friend of ours that also streams. And because we thought it was multiplayer. And Quinn's writing up a video, or he's doing something with a video, and he's like, install Spelunky. And I already had it installed on my PS4. So I was going to test out my stream to make sure everything's working. And then I'm playing the game a little bit, and I'm looking, and I was like, I'm talking to Quinn through the stream chat, and I'm just like, I don't think this is multiplayer. I think it's only local multiplayer. There's no online multiplayer.
Yeah, there's only
I was looking into it and whatnot, and I was just like, we're going to have to set up something where we're just going to play single player, and whoever can get the farthest will win, or some made-up multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
So I boot up the single player, and I'm just playing single player, and Quinn's talking to me, Scott joined, and he was talking a little bit, and I think Chief also joined, one of our mods.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a lot of people started watching, which is very uncommon for Quinn and I.
Let me explain this.
How was your reaction?
Okay, so this is what happened. Nick started streaming Spelunky on the PS4, from the PS4.
Like waiting for Quinn and Scott to join.
Yeah, waiting for me. Well, mainly me, because I don't know where Scott was. But basically, me and Nick were going to play against each other. And because Nick found out that it wasn't multiplayer, we were just going to see who could get the furthest in the whatever amount of time. And then something amazing happened. And I think it was because Spelunky had just coming out on the PS4. So it was essentially brand new.
Yes.
And the PS4 has the option to look at streams. So,
yeah,
all out of the blue, Nick gets 1 viewer, 2 viewers, 5 viewers, 10 viewers, 15 viewers, 20 viewers, 30 viewers, 40 viewers.
Yeah, the record was 43. At one point, there's 43 people
watching Nick do poorly at Spelunky
I
because
thought
he
it
had
alright.
just begun playing it.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. The majority of the people weren't in the chat because they were watching from PS4, which means they can't follow, they can't chat.
Which is sad. But
or they actually can chat, but you have to have an account and stuff.
Right.
But basically, Nick had the most active and most viewed live thing either of us have had ever on his first go.
And I want to also mention that at the time, I only had 13 followers. So it was like, the view count was like triple the amount of followers.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't stream that often, so no one really follows me. Except for like friends. They'll be like, oh, you stream sometimes? I'll just follow whenever you do it, whatever.
Yeah.
So I got a couple people to go to their computer and follow me, but I ended up streaming for 3 hours straight without stopping. I just streamed Spelunky the entire time. And people are talking to me. It was awesome. And it's much easier to stream by yourself when you have a full chat like that.
Well, I think it's because when you have a chat, you're not really alone, so you actually have people to talk to and like
and
have
time
a
goes by
conversation.
faster.
Yeah.
When I'm by myself, it's like I get to the hour point. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm streaming, people are saying, "Oh, I'll mention like I think I'm gonna stop after this mission," and people are like, "Oh," and sometimes they'll be like, "No, don't stop." Like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
Don't stop. We're here to watch, man. Please.
Yeah, I just kept going, and then that led to me playing Shadow of Mordor, which we talked about last week, and I started playing that. And so far, I've only played when I streamed, which is a first for me, playing through a game just streaming. And the first time I streamed, I didn't have the view count like I did with Spelunky, but I ended up playing for 4 hours straight, which is like a record for
which is nuts.
Yeah, which
is nuts for you.
To play a single player
proud.
game. I don't think I've ever played that much of a single player game in straight. Which
Yeah.
sounds lame, and people are like, "Oh, I'll play like 9 hours a day straight because I'm hardcore." But that's just not me, I guess. But
and I think
the next day I played for 3 hours straight, and then last night I played for I think I played 2.5 or 3 hours straight, and I'm a little more. I think I'm like 2/3 done the game, so it's really good.
Yeah, I think that was actually because the game was good. And because there were at least people, saying stuff, there wasn't a lot of people, but there are people there to say a word or two or talk about how good or bad you are doing.
Yeah.
I'm proud, man. I'm proud of you, Nick.
Thank you.
Doing more than 2 hours of games.
Yeah. I'm getting used to it, and like I've mentioned last week, I've been watching a lot of streams. And I think that helped because the people I've talked to and whatnot through the streams, they have followed me. And last night, they were watching and chatting with me, and they've never seen me stream before.
Mm-hmm.
So I had new people to talk to and whatnot. So it's a good time. I definitely I'm looking forward to beating Shadow of Mordor, doing everything live, and then heading over to Borderlands, possibly, which I might be playing with my friend Mikey B. He mentioned he was going to get it. Mikey B. He's talking about getting it, and I talked to him yesterday, and we had a good time playing Borderlands 2, so I'm looking forward to that. Quinn, you can join us if you want to get it for Steam. It's 4-player. You're welcome to join us.
If I can find it for cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm talking cheap because we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
About my view on Borderlands. So
yeah. Even Mikey B was a little worried about this pre-sequel, but he's willing to give it a shot. He's like, it's not made by Gearbox.
Wait, it's not?
It's made by 2K. So I didn't know that. So I'm still looking forward to it. I love the Borderlands lore.
Yeah.
So I also played a little bit of Minecraft, but there's nothing exciting that happens.
Well, what I want to know is, so when you had these other streamers watching you,
yeah,
were they giving you advice or tips or anything you can improve?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they
well, what
were.
were the things they were telling? Like, what were your conversations?
Like, we kind of talked about Lord of the Rings a bit, and then I would mention that I'm not the biggest fan of Lord of the Rings. I haven't even seen The Hobbit, and people are like shocked about that. And then we're talking about Lord of the Rings, and then Chief is the biggest advice giver. He'll be like, "Oh, you should have done this. You need to do this," and
Yeah.
point me in the right direction. Even though Chief is like a mystery person, he'll like like one of the members in the chat was like, "Chief, tell me a little bit of yourself. You're like a mystery man." And like the next thing Chief said is like, "I gotta go." And I left.
I gotta leave.
I gotta get out of here.
It's funny though because he actually watches like while in school,
Yeah.
so we're like diminishing his education.
Yeah. Well, he's dedicated. He's a
Yeah.
dedicated mod. And then we talked about. It's just like the chat can go anywhere. Like we were talking about first dates yesterday, and like I was telling him that one of my very first dates I've ever went on, I took a girl to Subway and I paid with a gift card. And we were talking about that, and like everyone in the chat said I did the right thing. And it was like, you should have ordered her foot-long sub for her.
Oh my god.
Got her a turkey sub and whatnot. We were just joking around and whatnot. It was a good time.
Man. Well, I meant like advice on streaming, not necessarily advice on your moves in your first date.
Oh, streaming? Oh, the first time I streamed Shadow Mordor, I had problems with buffer rates.
No, Nick, I'm talking about you. You said that people you follow went and actually watched you. Now, did they give you any advice on streaming?
No, not that I remember. They were just chatting with me. It was just,
okay.
It was just relaxed.
All right.
One of the guys, you know him. He keeps coming in and being like, "Oh, you're playing this crappy game again." He just keeps on trying to get me to play something else, but I'm like, no, it's my stream. I'll play what I want.
Wow.
I know I'm hardcore, but he ends up staying anyways. He's a good guy, or that I know of.
Yeah,
I don't really know him that
You
well.
don't even know if he's a guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Scary stuff on the internet. I've seen some weird things.
I've seen things, man. The internet, man.
I've seen some random things.
Yeah. Okay.
Which leads us to our random topic.
All right, we're going to our random topic of the week. Unless you want to talk about streams a little bit more, I don't care.
No, let's talk about the random topic. I think we went on streams for a good bit.
Okay. Oh, I should just twitch.tv/OrganizedRemains. If you ever want to watch people, I'm just saying. Come join and talk about your first date experiences.
Come join the fun.
Yeah. All right, the random topic this week is speedruns, because speedruns are very popular on Twitch with older games and whatnot. And I came across this video. I don't know, you probably see it. This guy beat Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, and GoldenEye in 51 minutes. Mm-hmm. Did you see the video, Quinn?
No, but I can watch it.
So this guy has three N64 set up, 3 TVs set up, and he plays all 3 games simultaneously and beats them all in 51 minutes. It's very impressive. Check it out.
But it's simultaneously. I mean, how does he even do that? How's that possible?
All right, he has 3 different controllers, right? Like in the beginning, he press start on one, press start on the other one, press start on the next one, and then while Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64 was doing their little intro video, he was doing the first mission of GoldenEye. Finished the first mission of GoldenEye, and then he did a little bit of Mario 64, and then something would happen in Mario 64 where you'd have to watch a cutscene, and during that cutscene, he would move on to the next game. And he just did like a cycle.
Yeah, I'm watching right now. Yeah, it seems like anytime anything loads, he just switches off.
Right. He's always doing something.
Yeah.
There's no breaks. It's very impressive, and definitely check it out. One of my favorite streamers, and actually the first person I ever followed on Twitch, is a person named Sigelmech. Mm-hmm. I think is how you pronounce it, and he does Super Mario 64 speedruns, and he's really good at it, and I love that game, so he's sometimes he'll get on a mic and explain, but sometimes he's just playing it and not talking, and it's just fun to watch. But I also come across speedruns that aren't fun to watch, and it's just like, I don't want to watch you mess up the first level of this game 50 times in a row and you restarting your N64. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sigelmec can actually get far. He's that good.
Well, I think
He'll get
like
that far.
the thing is, so the need to stream speedruns came out of the fact that you needed proof to show your times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And generally, when people start a game for the first time and want to get into speedrunning, it's all about like memorizing everything. So if they mess up, they restart. They mess up, they restart. And it's not necessarily like they're not doing it, I don't feel, for entertainment. They're doing it to record themselves getting a certain time. And I think there are people who do speedrun who are entertaining. There are actually a lot of people on Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 and like basically any hard game you're going to see people speedrun. And like I've seen those be entertaining because like even though someone might mess up halfway through or whatever, they're not going to restart. They're just going to, you know, finish it out, have fun, whatever, or they'll challenge themselves and say, "You know what? I'm going to beat this game only using the wooden spoon." Or like, "I'm going to beat this game with only using this weapon," or whatever. Like, I think that part of it, like seeing people challenge themselves to a certain degree, is really entertaining. Like the video you mentioned with like 3 games going on simultaneously. Yeah. Like that's entertaining because it's like something you wouldn't think of. It's challenging to like 3 different degrees, you know? Exactly. And I think that's the entertainment part, is just seeing what people are willing to put time towards to finish, you know, to actually complete something like in some insane way. I saw a guy beat Dark Souls with a Guitar Hero controller.
Yeah, it's very awesome.
Like, it's just nuts what people are willing to do in order to like say.
But there's also I've come across a lot of streams that aren't like that. Like they mess up and they just restart.
Or they like they don't even have their mic on and they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some of them. It's just interesting because I remember speedrunning when I was in sophomore year of high school, so almost 10 years ago, or is 10 years ago from now, and it's much different now, obviously, but there was this website called speedrunners.net, I think, or speed something. It doesn't matter, but you'd have to download the video and watch them and whatnot, and it's crazy because I remember in high school I downloaded someone beating Super Mario 64 and with all the stars in like 3.5 hours. Yeah. And I actually watched the whole thing. And I was amazed by it. The record now is, I believe, 49 minutes. Mm-hmm. So in that amount of time, to just keep playing and playing, it's awesome. And I've thought about doing speedrunning myself with, because I've always like, it'd be nice to be able to say I'm the fastest at this game. And like, I looked into it, I was like, okay, what game am I really good at? And I'm really good at the Tony Hawk games. Mm-hmm. And I looked into it, and it was just like, I don't have the time or patience to do this.
And like, that's the thing that I think discourages people. Like, so I was really into Lovely Planet, which is all about speedrunning, and I was like, okay, since this game is new, these world records for the levels are going to be relatively beatable because they're, it's brand new. These records are going to be possible for me to get within reach. Like, I just wanted to get on the top 10 so I could see my name on the leaderboards, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I like would play these levels for like an hour, right? Just one level that takes 10 seconds to beat. Right. And I would just try and get closer and close, like shaving milliseconds off, trying to catch these people. And it was impossible. I would like develop techniques where I would basically do what the game wouldn't want me to do so that I could shave time off. Like, you're supposed to like run over this way, then run that way, shoot this guy, touch this pole or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would just like jump a certain way where I would just float above everything and like be on this mountain and sort of bypass everything
Right.
just to get faster time, and yet I would not come close to these people. And it's
Yeah.
like ridiculous how fast people are, and it just, I feel really hard to like put that much time into it when you know you're not going to come close to these people.
That's one of the pros of being a game journalist and getting a review copy before the game comes out, because you're only competing with like 100 other people.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I'll use a Chopper HD, and I was playing it on the 360, and it was like a week before it was going to come out, and everyone was on the leaderboard. There was only like 16 people on the leaderboard, and like getting to the, like on a couple levels I got to the number 1 spot, and I was like, this is awesome. I wish every game was
I wish
this
I
easy
could
to
be
get
number one on everything.
And then the game came out, and like, yeah, I was like 20,000 plays or something. So it's fun while it lasts, I guess. But that's one of the pros of being able to review games, I guess.
Yeah,
is you can actually see your name on the leaderboard.
You can be number 1.
Yeah, exactly. It can feel special.
Yeah, man, that's what games are about, being number 1.
I remember I went to Disney World when I was a kid, and they had an arcade at the hotel we stayed at, the Wild Kingdom Lodge.
Okay.
The one with the animals outside the building.
Okay.
We stayed there, and they had an arcade, and I remember Point Blank was there in the arcade, and I got high scores on that. I was number 1 on like a bunch of the mini games. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what I put my initials as, and I'd tell you guys, whoever goes to Disney World can try to beat my score.
It's try and see if it's still there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Just double
what
check
I put
for
down.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days. Like,
I even took pictures of it, like not with a digital camera. We didn't have digital cameras when we went. We had the exposable cameras that you use once, get it developed, and you never use that camera again. I have pictures from that.
Yeah.
Of all my favorite arcade machines. My parents weren't too happy with me because
it cost some money to make those pictures.
They paid me to go to Disney World, and my favorite part was the hotel's arcade.
Oh man, they probably could have like bought you the arcade machine instead of like paying for your ticket and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably true, but
yeah,
I was just like always like I'd be at the like amusement parks and be like, "Can we go back to the hotel?"
Yeah, I'm feeling sick. I think playing this arcade machine will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that's.
Yeah, I think that's
good. That was a pretty decent.
That was the longest podcast we've ever done.
Yeah.
We're going to an hour. We're almost there.
Well, we have a minute and 15 seconds to wrap it up, Nick.
Yeah. All right. Quinn does gaming. Go to OrganizedRemains.com, see the newest videos and whatnot, and follow me on Twitter, OrganizedRemain without an S. Follow the YouTube channel, see that Rock Band video we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, and follow me at twitch.tv/OrganizedRemains, because I'll probably be streaming more often, and come chat, share some experiences of when you took your first date to a Subway and ordered her a roast beef salad.
Wow, roast beef salad. Is this some innuendo going on? Sounds like some eating fresh going on in your...
No innuendos there.
All right. Well, you could also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/QuinnDoesGaming, or on YouTube, Mr. Breaded Chicken. And I think that about does it.
You got Twitter. Mention the Twitter.
I don't tweet. No one tweets, Nick.
I've been tweeting. I have a... Can we talk about the Twitter thing for a second?
Sure, go for it.
So I posted a joke on Twitter, and it was just a little lame joke. And I wrote, I thought I was a hypochondriac, but it just turned out I had Ebola, and the hashtag Ebola. And like 30 seconds later, this guy tweets at me saying I'm stupid and that it was an idiotic joke, and he seemed very offended about
Yeah,
it.
he was
And I was
really
just cracking
heated.
up. I was laughing. I was just like, what? This guy's so hurt about my tweet. And it's
Yeah.
just, I've never had that yet. I haven't had that happen on Twitter. And it's just like, the guy had a lot of followers, and his name was actually Ebola Phone. So
Yeah.
he gets upset about Ebola jokes, I guess. Maybe he has Ebola, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was out of line for making that
If he
joke.
has Ebola, why would he be on Twitter? Like, that'd be a terrible use of his time.
Yeah. I like to go on Twitter and make fun and make people upset.
Yeah. I like to get upset about people talking about Ebola. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm going to try to post on my Twitter more often, maybe get it more active. I have been getting new followers, so might keep that up. So it's kind of working out.
It's
telling people to follow me, being more upfront about it, I guess you could say.
Organized Remain. Go do it.
Yep. At
Organized Remain, y'all.
All right, see you later, freaks.